Let's hit the field.
It is Tuesday, August 12th, and the Yankees were trying to win 2 in a row. 2 in a row, is that allowed? Aaron Judge dropping the gavel, Carlos Rodon with a pretty good start, and Giancarlo Stanton put one halfway up the bleachers. My recap, your reactions coming up next. This is Pinstripe Territory.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
How's it going, everybody? So something weird is happening right now. My computer just came on across the other room, so I'm going to do a real quick DraftKings ad to kick off this episode, then we'll be back to talk about the game. The dog days of summer mean it's time for the boys of summer to kick things into gear. And the best way to cash in on your baseball IQ is with DraftKings Sportsbook. Never bet on baseball before? It is simple. Pick a guy to go yard, hammer some live odds mid-game, or just ride with your squad and hope for the best. No spreadsheets, just vibes and dingers. Here's something special for the first timers. New DraftKings customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the code FOUL. That's code FOUL for new customers and get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming sources, see dkng.co/audio. Can we have one night where nothing crazy happens? So yesterday, we get kicked off of live streaming on YouTube for showing a clip of Jaws. And today, I'm sitting here and I'm trying to do my opening, and I hear my computer talking over there. Turns out, my cat, who's always causing trouble, stepped on the keyboard and caused a video to play. So right as I'm starting the show, I've got a video playing, not 6 feet behind me, driving me nuts. And the Yankees won 2 in a row. Cats and dogs living together. How do we explain it? So, pretty good night for the Yankees. Phenomenal performance by Carlos Rodon. Second day in a row with the same lineup, which on one hand I like, but on the other hand, Dominguez was on the bench. We all know I like watching Dominguez play and develop and like watching the young guys play every day. But, you know, sometimes a couple of days off can help. I found it very interesting that Ben Rice was behind the plate again tonight, and that Austin Wells got another day off. So, you know, maybe doubling up the rest, but also maybe a little bit of a catching controversy brewing. So keep an eye on that. We got a couple of super chats real quick to get to. Brian Bashman says, I know that the Twins team is basically a double-A ball club, but maybe the wins will get the team going. Hey, we can always hope, right? And then Michael Pinto says, this must be how the Astros feel playing us. Oh, man, that's tough. And then Twins or not, I don't care. They're called slump busters for a reason. Let's hope this instills confidence. Thanks to Matt Paridi. And then One of a Kind says, your Twins are that girl your friend calls when he's in a slump. Hi. All right. So, as you can see, our live streaming privileges have been properly restored. So that's good. We're back here on Pinstripe Territory. Aaron Judge back in the home run column. First home run since July 23rd tonight. It's amazing how Paul O'Neill so often predicts when things are about to happen. Same with Joe Girardi. So tonight, having both of those guys in the booth was an awesome experience. I love having that trio of Girardi, O'Neill, and Michael Kay. In my opinion, that's the best combo going right now. If you're into like insight and analytics, or not analysis, and experience, those guys are all terrific. All right, so Mello says, Kitty could not wait to see tonight's replays and pressed play. It was actually my own podcast because I had like the screen up there from where I uploaded the thumbnail and all that. And so it was going to be playing my own voice behind me about like 10 or 15 seconds after I said it. I would not have been able to tolerate that. It would have driven me nuts. I never run ads at the beginning of the show, but hey, we did it tonight. It's what we had to do. All right, so let's go ahead and get to the recap.
All right, let's go. Let's get it going.
So, Twins did jump out to an early lead. Things were not looking great. He was bouncing the slider. He was nibbling. He threw 31 pitches, only 18 of them strikes. But after that, he settled down and pitched one of his best games of the season. We'll talk more about him in a few minutes, but a really good outing for Carlos Rodon. Aaron Judge answered right back with a long home run, 38 home runs now on the season for Aaron Judge. Continuing to push for 40. I think he will definitely get to 50. I'm missing some time on the IL. We'll probably keep him from passing Cal Raleigh, who's already got 45. You got to figure he's going to get close to 60, if not go past it. But Giancarlo Stanton, the way he's swinging the bat with Aaron Judge in the lineup, they were right on the broadcast. You got to have those two guys in the lineup if you can. I'm so glad, so pleased to see that Giancarlo Stanton has been able to play right field the last couple of nights, and we will talk about him. But Yankees extended the lead on a 3-run home run by Anthony Volpe. Big 3-run shot. Home run number 18 on the year for Volpe. And the thing about Volpe is that he has suddenly flipped a switch in terms of the power. You remember most of the season, he wasn't hitting home runs after that initial barrage in the first weekend. But since the All-Star break, I think he's got about 8 home runs. And he seems to have momentarily at least conquered the yips that seemed to be plaguing him there for a couple of weeks. His defense has been, unspectacular, but not noteworthy in a bad way either the last several games. So that's good. Pretty clear that Jazz Chisholm was giving him signs. When he got around, they had exchanged a couple of words and almost kind of like a wink or a pat on the back. So it's not the first time we've seen the Yankees just be blatant about stealing signs, but that's legal. I mean, and against a team like the Twins that are already out of it, they don't care. They're just whatever, just play. Let's get this over with so we can go home. Terrific hustle by Cody Bellinger tonight in the 3rd inning, ground ball to first base. But when he was running hard, the first baseman booted it, and Bellinger was able to beat it out. And that's what people praise the hustle for, right? I mean, he turned what would have been an out for most people into a base hit. Now, he's got great speed, but the fact that he was busting it out of the box, that's huge. And he always does that. Really love the guy. Every single night, he shows me something different. Pay that man his money. All right. So, he also had a crazy long at bat, by the way, where he fouled off a ton of pitches. He ended up flying out. A lot of people are going to really praise the at bat, and yes, I do love a good long at bat because it wears out the pitching. But he also swung at ball 4 a few times in that at bat. So let's, credit where credit's due, but also let's temper the whatever you want to call it there. Giancarlo Stanton went deep again. Home run number 12, 447 feet, 12th home run of the year. This one was to left field, opposite field last night. This one, he hit it deep into the left field bleachers. Something about hitting the ball into the left field bleachers, even though it happens a lot at this stadium, it's still super impressive. I remember back at the old stadium, I only saw one guy do it, and that was Juan Encarnacion. I think he was playing for Detroit at the time. In fact, I think there's a video about it on my channel. You just didn't see guys hit the ball into the left field bleachers. I wonder if that ball that Giancarlo hit tonight would have flirted with the bleachers. And the ones that Aaron Judge hit over the bleachers at the new stadium definitely would have gone into the left field bleachers at the old stadium. But tonight's shot looked like it would have been close. And I know the distance out there, at one point it was 460 something, and this one was 447. But it's not like a straight shot. So that one, I would love to see a chart as to where this one would have landed at the old stadium, because I think it might have made the bleachers. It had the height, it had the distance. That was a shot. He also passed Jason Giambi on the all-time list, and I'm a Giambi fan. I know a lot of people didn't love Jason Giambi because he didn't win, and he didn't win a World Series with the Yankees, and he did the steroid thing, but he was clutch. He had that big home run against the Twins. He had 2 home runs against Pedro in the 03 Game 7 that the Yankees won. You don't win that game without the 2 home runs from Giambi. So I always appreciated Jason Giambi. I saw him hit a couple of home runs in person. Ton of fun. Love that guy. Think he'll be a good manager someday from what I've heard about him as like a bench guy. He was basically a de facto manager or at least coach, his last couple of years in the major leagues when he wasn't playing that much. He was basically a pinch hitter. But anyway, Giancarlo Stanton, 4 hits tonight, very quietly, having a great season since coming back and playing right field, which we'll talk about all that in a minute. Bullpen was solid tonight. Tim Hill threw a scoreless inning. De Los Santos threw a scoreless 9th inning. He's got a 1.57 ERA, very quietly been solid. And I'm told this is not a major league record, but the Yankees have won 2 in a row.
Ball game over. Yankees win. Yankees win.
Harris Grubb says, I'll take Stanton over Harper right now. Heart Big G. And Stanton is definitely starting to crush it. I mean, he is smoking the baseball. Just a quick look at his OPS, 962. And I've got a segment on him in just a minute. But first, we got to give out some hardware. We got co-belts tonight. 2 guys stood out with their performance. Going Big G and Carlos Rodon. Co-belts. I did co-belts because I felt like there was 1 or 2 games this year where Carlos Rodon deserved a belt but didn't get one. And Big G tonight with his performance, 4 hits, raising his average over 300, driving in 3 runs, hitting a ball 447 feet. I couldn't not give one to him. So we're going co-belts tonight. It was good to see Carlos Rodon bounce back. You know, he's had some down starts. I felt like he should have gotten deeper into that game in Miami. That might have prevented the bullpen meltdown. The Yankees had a big lead, and he just kind of like let them chip away. Tough start to the game tonight. 31 pitches in the first inning, total grind. Couldn't get his breaking ball over, was bouncing everything, but then just 18 pitches in the next 2 innings combined. He had a couple of first pitch of the inning outs tonight. Probably his most dominating game of the season, really. I mean, one of the top 2 or 3 anyway. 7 innings, 1 hit, 1 run, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Very nice performance. 3.25 ERA on the season, and a great job by Carlos Rodon. Let's talk about Giancarlo Stanton. As I mentioned, very quietly having a good season. Like, I think this might be his most consistent baseball that he's played since probably 2021 when he had a really good year. And, you know, if you look at the StatCast numbers, he really hasn't lost anything. And we got a big super chat here from Louis Penafiel. Says, back from Cancun, Yankees win. Oh, you 2 tequila shots. I appreciate it, my man. Appreciate that. $49.99 from Luis Penafiel. You the man. But looking at Giancarlo Stanton's numbers here, his average exit velocity, I mean, it's not the tops in the league, but it's up there. 94.6. It would definitely be in the top probably 1 or 2%, you know, if he was able to qualify. I know O'Neal Cruz has a ton of exit velocity. There's some other guys. Not Jackson Chourio. Actually, Jackson Chourio, I think, does have some good exit velocity. Who's that guy for... I can't think of... Oh, Junior Caminero. He's got good exit velocity. Good bat speed, too. But he's still up there. Barrel percentage is up this year. Hard hit percentage is up. He's tweaked his stance a little bit. He's back to closing things up. His walk percentage is, you know, well above average. He's still striking out a bit too much, you know, but the speed is hilarious. He's in the number 1 percentile. He's the worst, one of the slowest guys in baseball. The arm looked solid the other night. He made a nice throw, but overall now, on the season, hitting 300 with a 962 OPS. He was 4 for 5 with 3 RBIs. He has played right field, and he has survived the experience, which is, you know, better than we thought could have happened at this point. You know, he's looking confident. He's taking the ball to all fields. I'm loving what we're seeing from him. I thought it was interesting tonight that Ben Rice was back in the lineup. He was behind the plate. He was 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts, but, you know, he basically got the second start in a row at catcher, meaning Austin Wells on the bench twice in a row. And that makes you wonder, how the Yankees are feeling about his defense. Are they taking a closer look? Are they saying, well, it's maybe not that much of a difference between him and Austin Wells? Because Rice has been the superior hitter, 786 OPS. Wells is under 700. And, JC Escarra was back on the roster tonight, so when the Yankees went to a catcher, they decided to give Wells the entire night off. Makes sense. Rest him up a little bit, but I'll be interested to see how this develops. In the chat, let me know who you think right now would start as the Yankees catcher if the postseason were to begin tomorrow. And also, who do you think the Yankees opening day catcher will be next year? I'm starting to lean into Ben Rice. I think he looks fine behind the dish. He obviously worked well with Rodon tonight, but looking good. BTR says, going to game tomorrow, I better not see Devin Williams. Let's hope that you don't. Did you see what John Sterling said about Devin Williams? He said his advice to Aaron Boone is basically, I know you want to pitch Devin Williams. I know you want to. Just don't do it. Just don't pitch Devin Williams. That was his advice. Brian Bashman says, why are all these guys with elite exit velocity hitting under 250? That's a fantastic comment. Clearly not a big-time correlation between exit velocity and batting average. I'd be interested to see what if the bottom third of exit velocity in the league has a higher batting average than the top third. Because a lot of times you can get hits on those soft little flares, just making contact, hitting dribblers, infield hits, things like that. Obviously, you want to hit the ball hard. You want to have the ability to hit the ball hard. What I like is somebody who hits the ball hard, but also hits the ball often, right? Aaron Judge, he hits the ball hard, but he also hits the ball very often. And he walks a lot. That's why he's an elite offensive player. Rich Dub says he stopped chasing that slider, referring to Giancarlo. He does seem to be laying off it a little bit better right now, but let's just kind of temper expectations. I mean, the Twins, obviously not the most dominating pitching staff in the league right now. So we'll see how he does against elite sliders in the playoffs. Let's take a few voicemails.
It's just a reaction.
Here's Sam.
Hey, Derek. Pat from Brooklyn here. Yankees up 8-1. It's Devin Williams time. Hey, let's see what he got.
Yeah, you can't pitch him even when you're winning. You have to pitch him when the game is basically over and you've lost. And, let him eat up those innings. He's the last man in the bullpen now at this point, in my opinion. Here's Brian.
What's going on, Derek? Just wanted to say how much better Volpe's been playing with the addition of Ryan McMahon. It's been amazing. He's been fielding better almost instantly, and it seems like that confidence is carried over as well into his offense. So that's just been something to look forward to moving forward here. I think that just the steady presence of Ryan McMahon over at third base, how much that actually impacts not only the infield defense, but the confidence of some of these infielders moving forward. All right.
Yeah, I'd be interested to know what kind of an effect that has on Volpe. There's definitely a correlation between McMahon arriving and Volpe playing better, but correlation doesn't equal causation, right? What's the old fallacy? Post hoc, ergo propter hoc. After it, therefore, because of it. We don't necessarily know that McCann being over there is a reason Volpe's playing better. It could have just happened around the same time. But I do think that Volpe not having to worry as much about ranging to his right definitely allows him to position himself a little bit closer to first base, a little bit more up the middle, and that gives the Yankees a little bit better chance of getting it out because he doesn't have the arm, to go deep in the hole and make that play. But McCann has such good range to his left that he can cut across and make that play. So it might be a correlation. But at this point, I'm loving what we're seeing from McCann defensively. I think he's about due for a home run. He hasn't hit a home run yet with the Yankees, but he's got some power, and I think it's coming, and I think it might be coming tomorrow. So that's your Nostra Derek pick for tomorrow. Home run from Ryan McMahon. And by the way, apologies in advance because I'm going to call him McMahon or McCann a bunch of times. I've already said it like 10 times to myself tonight. Ryan McMahon and Brian McCann. That is very difficult for my brain for whatever reason. But McCann, obviously a long-term Yankee. I did the same thing with Will Warren. I called him Adam Warren like 20 times. I heard Joel Sherman call Max Fried Tom Glavine the other day. It's weird when you watch baseball and players are kind of like similar or have similar names. You just call them by different names in your brain. It's weird. Baseball's a game like that. But, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap it up here. No ad tonight to play, obviously, because we played it early on. Special thanks to DraftKings. Ryan doesn't know who McCann is. Brian McCann, former Yankee catcher. For a couple of years. They got him from the Braves. Big-time power. Really took a step back after coming to the Yankees. Anyway. I've said it. Yeah, I probably said it a few times. It's just, it's one of those things. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call it a night. Appreciate you watching. Thanks for tuning back in. The Yankees going for the sweep tomorrow. We'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this content, please hit that like button and subscribe. Check out NYYDesigns.shop for some great merch. Support our sponsors. It helps keep the show going. And you can find us on all major audio platforms, so be sure to subscribe there too. But most importantly, come back again soon. We'll see you next time.